In this video, I wanted to look in a bit more detail at one of our exciting new titles, and that's Genome Editing for Precision Crop Breeding, which is edited by Dr. Matthew Willman, formerly of Cornell University in the US. Part 1 looks at advances in gene editing techniques such as insertion-based genome edits, base editing and guide RNAs, whilst Part 2 surveys applications of gene editing in key cereal and vegetable crops. Well, to give you a better idea of what the book is like, I've picked out a couple of chapters to look at in more detail. The first one from Part 1 is Chapter 2 on double-strand break, DSB repair pathways in plants and their application in genome engineering. And that's written by Natalia Baying, Karlia Schmidt and Holger Buchter of the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology in Germany. The chapter reviews recent research on the two main pathways for DSB repair in plant cells. It discusses the use of non-homologous end joining and homologous recombination in genome editing. The second chapter I wanted to pick out to give you a feel for the book is from Part 2, and that's Chapter 16 on genome editing of tomato by Joyce van Eyck of the Boyce Thompson Institute and Cornell University. The chapter discusses how traits related to things like disease resistance, fruit and tuber quality have been modified and improved for the use of editing in tomato and potato. The chapter reviews the effectiveness of different editing approaches for solanaceous species. Well, I'll conclude, if I may, by quoting two leading experts in this area, and the first of those is Professor Beat Keller at the University of Zurich in Switzerland. And he's been kind enough to say about the book that many authors in the proposed book are leaders in this field of research. The topic of application of genome editing in crops is covered very broadly, representing an impressive description of the state of the art. The second expert I wanted to quote is Professor Keksia Gao at the Institute of Genetics and Developmental Biology at the Chinese Academy of Sciences, and he's also been kind enough to comment on the book as follows: with its breadth of coverage and the international team of distinguished contributing authors, this comprehensive guide promises to be an ideal reference for researchers and graduate students and those working in agriculture and plant biotechnology around the world. Well, we think this important collection precisely hits the target and hope you agree too.